So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
Hello, people. Hold on a second. This is the funnest part of the show, where you're producing it and you're on camera at the same time. You're like, am I on yet? Am I... Hello, people. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the deal. Everybody, thank you for coming in. This is going to be an hour packed of information, news, headlines. Just so you know, we're going to share some stuff right in the first 20 minutes, some fun stuff. And then around, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes into the show, we're going to talk to you about the headline of the day that we've highlighted here that you'll want to know. We're going to give you an update on AB, hold on a second, AB 2943, the California bill. And this morning, I got a weird email, people. And I'm going to tell you about it because it is part of the homosexual agenda, LGBTQ chaos, as my friend Stephen Black says. And when you see this or hear about it, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, really? Seriously? Ugh. So, if you like boldness in your faith, feel free to share this out. Let other people know what we're talking about here if you don't mind. Really appreciate it. And I want to thank all of you on the replay, of course. I know I don't do that enough, by the way. I love you all. I know. I don't say it enough, but I do. All right, and of course, I have to tell my friend Bareface, it's not his real name, thank him as always for being the love of my life, the pity pat in my heart, the producer of the show. I don't pay him anything, so I gotta give him compliments. Just
Hold on, let me, I'll put my mug on solo right now.
All right.
While I reposition you, and there's the end of the song.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
For some reason.
Wow, that 3 minutes went by fast.
Yeah, it's just your voice right now, just so you know.
That's okay. Ooh, I can rub my nose. I can pick it if I feel like it. Why would I want to do that?
All right, I'm going to put you on now.
Am I on?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so here it is, people. Let's do some Let's say hi first. I want to say hi to everybody. If you're on Facebook, thank you for coming on in. Really appreciate it. I'm sharing it out on my Facebook page, so if you're a friend of mine, hopefully you'll be able to see it shortly. All right? And then, of course, all you guys on Periscope, I can see you. It's a miracle. It's working today. Ah, I can't believe it. Okay, so there's Steven, Nacha, Melanie, Mia, Advar, Rachel, Jason, Fuzzy. I don't know if that's really your real name. Adrian, Percy, and Stevo. Is it Stevo or Stevo, or are you a bot? Just curious. I don't know what you are. Do you know what you are? I'm just serious. Anyway, Diane came in. Hi, Diane. All right, people. So there's a lot to talk about. But before we begin the serious stuff, I have to tell you, last night, Randall and I, we went and played pickleball. And it was super hot in the pickleball court. So it was super hot. I mean, I don't know if you've ever walked into an 85-degree room with humidity and then tried to play a sport in it. You know, I just have to say it was hot. You see this naturally curly hair? Anyway, that aside, I went back this morning, and as I was on my way there, Fuzzy is your real name, huh? Cool. Well, your mom must have had a great sense of humor. All right. So anyway, as I was going there this morning, this was the cutest thing. I was walking there. I was going in the door, and the doors of the place I go in, they're super heavy, and there's one of these handicap big buttons. Well, the button is a handicap, but you know, it's for assistance, right? Somebody's in a wheelchair, and you hit it, and the door opens automatically. Or there was these two little boys, and they were running. You know how little kids are. They have all this energy. All of us are middle-aged and older. We're like, can we get up in the morning? Where's my turmeric to help me along the day? Anyway, these little boys were running, And I noted, first of all, how tall they were. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are little short guys. I mean, they're super short. Pastor Garrett, thanks for sharing it out. Team US, thank you for coming in. Anyway, and so anyway, he's like, I don't know, 3 feet tall. Just this little guy. Cutest little guy. And I'm getting ready to reach for the door handle. And this little kid runs up and he says, wait, ma'am, let me get that for you. He so wanted to open my door. It was so cute. Anyway, so it was funny because he was so little that he couldn't open it with one hand because he's so little. So he took both of his hands like this, you know, and he's like pulling the door open for me. And I stood there and I was so impressed. I was just, I don't know. It just warmed me. It warmed my heart, you know. I don't know about you if it would warm your heart, but it totally warmed my heart. And I just have to say that, you know, to all you parents out there who treat your children well and who don't abuse them and actually teach them manners, you know, good job. You know, I've seen some one of my friends, he's a weightlifter and stuff. And anyway, he's been disciplining his children in front of everybody. And I'm not sure if he feels self-conscious about it, but me, I'm like, yeah, inside I'm going, you go, guy, do it. Because you know what? Children need to be disciplined. If they don't have discipline, they don't have boundaries, right? And so this kid, you know, yeah, he's being raised right. And I got to talk to his mom. I told her good job. And she said, oh, there are days he doesn't, but today was a good day. So it was really cool. And the thing is his mom didn't tell him. That was what was so cool about it to me. His mom didn't tell him. Okay. The other fun thing I want to talk about is I get a lot of free stuff. I want to show you a couple of things I got today in the event that you would like to go get them yourself. Okay. These, how many of you have heard of Brooklyn artist Dean Russo? I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he is an artist, and what he does is he makes these type of prints here. He paints animal portraits, just like this that you see, and what he does is he donates all the proceeds to animal shelters to help get to help get funding for them. So this is a journal. It's literally just a journal inside. It's just paper. But the cover is this beautiful dog, as you can see. Wouldn't you like a dog like that? I mean, seriously, that's super cool. So there's this one. And then there is also, wait, hold on a second. And then there's also a cat for cat lovers. So, this is put out by Quiet Fox Designs, and these books here are $10, okay? If you go to Amazon or something. Here, let me tell you. Can you see the book? Okay, am I holding it far enough? Okay. Let's see here. Let me tell you here a little bit about the press release here. He is known for his signature pet portraits, Dean Russo. His bold paintings explode with color. The story behind these classic kitties and dynamic dogs is a humbling tale of artistic creation meeting animal rescue awareness. As an animal advocate, Russo would visit shelters and ask for photos of adoptable pets to paint. He would then donate proceeds from the paintings back to the shelter. So that's pretty cool. So Fox Chapel Publishing's imprint, Quiet Fox, which is dedicated to creating quality gift books, has partnered with Russo. He has 8 journals in this series. In fact, there is the Chihuahua Journal, Dog is Love, Labrador Journal, Pitbull, Shiva Cat, Tilted Cat, Skull Journal, and Skull Mosaic. These have been released in May. And let's see, is there a website to go to? You can go to foxchapelpublishing.com, I think. Or just go to Amazon and look it up. So there's this one, and then, yes, they did send me the skull one, too. So here's the skull one. You can see that. Aren't these cool? I mean, seriously, I mean, the skull one's kind of, you know, you got to enjoy skull stuff, but, you know, just saying. So this is the skull one. I think they're beautiful. You know, just so you know, the dog one is my favorite. But they're beautiful. They are beautiful. So if you want to check that out, Quiet Fox Design, you can look up Dean Russo, artist, You can probably go to Amazon.com as well and look it up as well. All right. And then there is another one that says dog is love on it. Here, I can hold up this picture. Wait, hold on the thing so you can see that. I love to show you quality stuff. Isn't this cool, you guys? I mean, I don't know if you can see that. It's too little, but oh, Randall pulled up the thingy. Okay, good. So there you go. If you want a cool looking journal cover, check those out. I am a journal collector. I love journals, and I just think I just love it. I love it. Anyway, so there's that. All right. Also, want to let you know, just remind you guys, in case you don't know, I have been tracking identity theft issues, and I just want to remind you that if you would like to sign up for ID Shield, in the next couple of days, that would be totally cool. It's $9.95 a month for an individual policy. It's basically insurance, you guys. It monitors all your social media, and I can tell you that I've been for the last couple of weeks before I even launched this, I started doing research on identity theft, and it is massive. Massive. It is massive. So if you're smart, and you are, I know you are, if you're wise, you want to monitor it. Sorry, you got the video? So Randall's going to play you this video again. We'll tell you where to go if you want to sign up. Here's the deal. Let me tell you this. I'm telling you this for you, because I actually got alerts and I've gotten alerts the last couple of days, actually. But here's the thing. When you sign up through us, you support Bible News Radio, and you support yourself, and that's under $10 a month, okay? And I know a lot of you are not pillars yet, so this would be a good way for you to actually support us without becoming a pillar of the community. Okay, go ahead.
Hello from Legal Shield. We're proud to offer an identity theft monitoring and restoration service through our top-of-the-line Legal Shield Identity Theft Plan. Identity theft affects millions of Americans each year, but our plan provides you with secure web access to an up-to-date credit report, detailed analysis of your personal credit score, and email alerts regarding any activity under your name. And the plan includes Safeguard for Minors to protect the identity of dependents under the age of 18, with valuable information on credit education for minors, advice on the best uses of a child's social security number, and more. We've even partnered with Kroll Advisory Solutions, the industry leader in helping clients mitigate and respond to risk. So in the unfortunate event something does happen to your identity, you'll have professional help in getting your identity restored. And when you provide Kroll a limited power of attorney, a dedicated licensed investigator will do restoration on your behalf for as long as it takes until all resolvable issues have been addressed. This includes comprehensive restoration services such as sending fraud alerts to all 3 national credit repositories and correcting identity theft issues with affected banks, credit card companies, law enforcement agencies, and other institutions. Legal Shield Identity Theft Plan covers you, your spouse, and with Safeguard for Minors, up to 8 dependents under the age of 18. Arm yourself and your family with Legal Shield Identity Theft today. Legal Shield. Worry less, live more.
That's right, people. Worry less, live more. Seriously. Okay, so where do you go? Go to bit.ly/ all caps protect me. And I think Bareface is probably going to put that on the screen, right, Bareface? Or did you link it on our website too?
It's on our website.
Okay. Under what page? Resources?
On the sponsors.
Okay. So yeah, so you can go to our website too. Go to you can go there again, okay? All right, so let's go ahead now and talk about some of these issues. Boy, there's a part of me that honestly does not want to talk about this stuff. But here's the deal. Somebody's got to. Okay, so let me give you an update on AB 2943. All right, so this is the bill. I am trying to find my info here. Wait, hold on a minute. I got to get to a different page. This is the California bill that has been in the news basically because the idea is that they're going to ban essentially therapy for people who want to change from homosexuality. And I want to thank my friend Denise in California for helping me get the latest info on this. She sent me some of the updates here, but let me just give you the short update. yesterday, June 12th, they had a vote. And Capital Resource Institute, which is, I believe, located in California, said 21 hours ago on their Facebook page, Justin, we regret to inform you that despite overwhelming opposition, AB 2943 has passed through the Senate Judiciary Committee with a vote of 4-2 and 1 vote to be determined, also known as somebody who's a big fat chicken. They don't want to vote, or maybe they weren't there, I don't know, but anyway. And it says here, we will keep you up to date on new developments, specifically how we can continue to oppose this bill moving forward. So here's the thing, though. This is the backstory. The backstory is that a ton of people have gone up to the Capitol there in California and have actually petitioned on behalf opposing this. And despite that, the Senate Judiciary Committee still passed it. Now, there's an article over on, is it the Mercury News website, titled Group Fights California Bill to Declare Gay Conversion Therapy a Fraud. And these are the opponents of this bill, which you should be. Let's say that way. You need to be the opponent in this case. An effort to call gay conversion therapy a fraudulent business practice gained ground in the California State Senate on Tuesday, despite opposition from hundreds who rallied to fight the proposal on religious grounds. The Judiciary Committee passed the proposal, which means it's a step closer to being considered by the entire state Senate. An earlier version of the legislation has already passed the state assembly. So here's the thing. More than 350 people rallied at the state capitol to oppose the bill. And listen to this. I did not want to be gay, Jim Doman, a pastor who said the therapy helped him to marry his wife and have children. Please do not take away professional help programs that have helped people like me. This bill aims to ban selling or advertising sexual orientation change therapy. Okay? And just so you know, by and large, it's supported all by Democrats. People who are opposing it are Republicans. And the BS out there that you're going to hear, and pardon me for saying that, but that's exactly what it is you have a whole bunch of people who are in the homosexual lobby who are claiming that there's been all these fraudulent ways to treat people of their therapy, and they're trying to brainwash them, electric shock treatment, blah, blah, etc. And I'm just going to tell you something, okay? If you're new to the show, let me just say this shortly. If you're not new, you're going to be bored because you've already heard me say it. But if you're new, my background is as a marriage and family therapist. I got all of my education in California, Southern California. I accomplished 3,000 plus hours of internship so that I could get licensed in the state of California. It took me about 8 years in total between earning my master's and doing all those hours. And then right as it got to the place where I was determining whether or not I was going to get licensed, I was going through the testing materials, and there was zero option for me to say that homosexuals could change. And that's when I said, no, not doing it. I'm not going to bow to the government, just like Daniel didn't bow to the government of Babylon. I'm not going to do it. I am not going to bow and say that gays can't change. Not going to do it. You know why? Because so many people who've struggled with same-sex attraction have gotten help and have changed. But I will tell you something. Part of the propaganda here is that, and it is all propaganda. I'm just going to tell you this, people. This is complete propaganda. Part of the propaganda is that, I went in and I tried to get therapy and I did this, blah, blah, and I never, blah, 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 and it didn't work, right? I mean, that I know that's really, I did that well, didn't I? But the fact of the matter is that therapy only works if the person receiving therapy actually does the work. And I want to add this as well, because this is a huge, big, massive missing piece and all this that I don't think very many people talk about. You need to be humble, people. You know, God's word says that he gives grace to the humble. Right? The underlying mode of the gay lobby or the homosexual lobby is pride. Pride. It's all about pride, gay pride, right? And those who unfortunately are ensnared by the devil, and they are, and they call themselves Christians and gay, I'm sorry, the Bible doesn't declare anywhere that you should identify yourself as somebody who struggles with a sin. You know? Just saying, there's not a lobby out there for you know, gospel gossipers, you know, gospel gossipers. Try saying that 10 times fast. Gospel gossipers. You know, the gossips of the world aren't marching down to Constitution Avenue declaring special rights for their, quote, orientation, and all that is made up, people. This is marketing language. It's been sold to you, and the problem is so many people believe it. But those people, and there are thousands of them who have struggled with this because of issues having to do either with attachment, abuse, or frankly, just, you know, flat out wanting to be defiant and spitting in God's face, all right? And saying, you know what? I ain't gonna do it. I want to do what I want. And I'm gonna try to stop everybody in the whole entire universe from making me not wrestle with my conscience. Because at the bottom line is, the reason why there's so much anger in this community is because their conscience convicts them. But there is a line, and Romans chapter 1 talks about it, where their consciences are seared. And so at that point, they don't care. They don't care. And this is rampant. And this next story, just so you know, this next story is going to absolutely confirm what I'm telling you. Because I got this in my email this morning. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Really? So my point is it easy to deal with the issues that create or that burden or birth same-sex attraction? No, not for everybody. For some people, yes, God delivers them like that. Other people, frankly, it's a temptation they might have to struggle with their whole life. But you know what? It's just that, a temptation. And God gives us power in his word to fight the temptations of the flesh, right? As Christians, we're called to follow Christ, to pick up our cross daily, and to follow him, and to deny ourselves the flesh, right? But our culture's like, no, let's just embrace our flesh for all it's worth, and, you know, and all that. And then take God's grace for granted, right? But God gives grace to the humble, and he opposes the proud. So don't think for 1 second that when people are marching around in pride parades that God is like going, oh yay, I'm so affirmative, I created you this way. Because he's not, all right? He's not, okay? God opposes the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. And that's the truth. And that's in the Bible. So, you know, in case you didn't know that, you can read the Bible. But, so, here's the thing. There were over 30 ex-homosexuals who went up to Sacramento, and they stood and they gave their testimony, and these evildoers who voted in the Senate Judiciary completely ignored them, essentially by their telling them that they don't care, that they don't matter what their experience is. And I'll say it again, and as long as God gives me breath, I will sit behind a microphone as long as he calls me to, and I will tell you there is hope for the homosexual, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, questioning person, anybody. You know, God so loved the world, not just, you know, specific people, you know? There's hope for anybody. I have these people on my show all the time, former homosexuals and stuff. So there's hope. And you need to know that. And if this passes in California, and unfortunately I'm a prophet of doom, I think it will, because you have the callous heart, the Democratic leadership there. You know, all I'm going to say is that this is just another nail in the coffin for religious freedom. And some of the other stories we're going to talk about in a minute will actually just validate that point further. And the problem is, if your pastor isn't bold enough or brave enough to talk about this, there may be a time soon, and this law, if it is actually passed in California, it will be like the domino effect, man. This bill will pass, and it'll go across the country, and then pretty soon the Supreme Court will say, you know what, you can't read your Bible anymore. At least, not the parts that, offend anybody. And then it'll be like China, where they can only, the state church in China, is the Three Self Church. And in China, basically, they have the Bible. In fact, Amityville Press is the largest Bible printer in the world, right? They can print Bibles, they can go to church, they go to the Three Self Church, but in the Chinese church, they can't preach the gospel. They preach what the government tells them to do. And mark my words, that's headed this way if the church doesn't repent and also rise up and stand up for what is biblically right. Okay? All right. I get emotional because I'm passionate about this. The bill is AB 2943, and it's in California. Okay, so this morning I get this email, and it's titled, Dear Instagram, this isn't sexual. And unfortunately, due to the graphic nature of the video that was attached with a nude a topless woman, playing basketball, I'm not gonna show you it, but I'm gonna read it. And this is somebody named Rain Dove Model. And this is what they wrote. Okay, pay attention. And hopefully your virgin ears, this doesn't bother, but I'm going to read what they wrote because this is part of the LGBT lobby at work. All right? This is what this email says. Dear Instagram, this isn't sexual. Sure, I may have my double D breasts out, nipples shining in the sun, but this is simply a game of basketball between two humans. One of those humans is actually a pro basketball player whose skills on the court are far more worthy of a stare than my swinging sacks of potential food-providing flesh. But before you delete my IG post, let me defend myself. Number 1, your guidelines say female nipples. I don't identify as, quote, female, unquote, or male. So I'm not violating your guidelines. Number 2, even if I did identify as, quote, female, unquote, quote, females can have pecs, males can have breasts. If you argue only people with pecs are considered male-bodied, pecs can be bigger than breasts and vice versa. Both can also lactate. Both can also be fetishized. What's so different? Number 3. What is considered, quote, nudity, unquote, or naked changes culturally, globally. In some places, eye contact direct to camera is considered sexual. Showing your shoulders is considered lewd. Hugs are considered worse than kisses, etc. Aren't you a globally reaching company whose opinion is controlling what is considered sexual? Can we have a chat one-on-one? I wouldn't have had much of a chance at my career without my IG platform. I'm grateful for this app and what it has done to elevate my opportunities in life. I'm coming to you, not at you. Please consider reviewing the language you use in your guidelines. Either make it so no one can show their nipples or everyone can. You're creating a division that's reinforcing the vulnerable feelings people with breasts already feel. Fear, shame, objectification. Stop targeting, quote, females, unquote, specifically. Instead, might I recommend addressing intentions equally. It's kind of obvious when someone is creating work with specific salacious intention. A shirt off is not enough for a conviction. You reach around the world, Instagram. Therefore, you can change it simply by hanging your language. Love always, Rain Dove. Now, you're welcome to go and look up this if you so desire to be grossed out. But I have to tell you something. If you watch the video, in fact, Randall, do you have the screenshot I sent you? At the end of the video...
I did, but I closed it.
You did?
I
Okay.
thought it was the video itself. I didn't realize it was
No, it's just a screenshot. At the end of... Okay, so here's the thing. Excuse me. So in the video, she is playing basketball with somebody without her shirt on, okay? And she is well endowed by her creator, okay? Let's just say it that way. I happen to be also very well endowed by my creator. Blessed be his name. All right? Just saying. Praise God for my, well endowedness. But here's the thing. No way in the world would I ever be going around playing basketball naked without my shirt or my bra on. Trust me, I play pickleball. I need my bra, okay? Just saying. But she has this video. She's playing naked outdoors also, by the way, just so you know, outdoors. And she's basically drawing basically complaining because Instagram is saying that, it's okay. You don't mind when a mom is breastfeeding and her nipple shows on Instagram, but here I am playing basketball. It's clearly not sexual, and you're taking issue with me. That's her issue. Although she's not defining herself as a her. And to all you politically correct people out there who want to give her the so-called respect that she's desiring by calling her whatever the hell she wants to call herself, she didn't identify as anything. Pardon me for siding with God. She's a girl, okay? Just saying. So at the end of her video, this is the very last screenshot you'll see. It says, I implore you, Instagram, to revisit your guidelines on inappropriate content and consider changing the language to something that doesn't demonize a particular sex/gender. And then in parentheses, female nipples, address intentions, not bodies. Do you even have any idea how flawed that is and how stupid it is? I mean, seriously. So she's speaking out of both sides of her mouth, first of all, because on the one hand she's not identifying as a female, but then on the other side she's basically saying that you're demonizing the female gender. Well, I thought she didn't identify as female, so why is she all up in airs about, how they're demonizing the female gender? I mean, and the intentions. What? Okay, let's extrapolate this out to this a ridiculous level. Let's just say, for sake of argument, you have a man-boy lover, aka a pedophile. Okay, let's just say the guy decides that he wants to molest a girl and take her shirt off and fondle her on Instagram. Because, after all, his intention is just to love her the way the hell he feels like it. Would you have a problem with that? I sure as hell would. I mean, because after all, his intentions, are they pure? No. I mean, it's ridiculous, people. And yet, this is the language war. And this is why, and I say this all the time. Don't be mad at me for saying this, but I say homosexual. And I use that word most of the time instead of gay, because the homosexual lobby don't want you to say the word homosexual because it connotates sex. I've shared this before, but I was at a counseling conference in Southern California. It was headed up in San Diego. It was the SESCAL conference. It was headed up by a lesbian psychologist. And one of the first things in her workshop that she said was, nix the word homosexual, don't say it. Because when people hear the word homosexual, they automatically think sex. And what we want to do is we want to romanticize our movement. I was there. I met Chastity Bono, who's pretending to be Chaz. Okay? I mean, and if you're really born transgender, then, why do you need to have hormones to make yourself stay that way? Just saying. It's ridiculous. I don't know, Bareface. You watched the video. So why didn't you weigh in?
Well, I also looked at her entire Instagram account, Rain Dove Model. Apparently she's a model that models as in female attire and male attire. Feminine poses, masculine poses, in clothing. And anyway, but a lot of the other posts on her account deal with social justice. The Mexican worker is unpaid, underpaid compared to the Caucasian worker, and he talks about she talks about another model, another, androgynous type model, another model that likes to model as both female and male. And she talks about their account, doesn't talk about her account, or talks about how they didn't get, during the fashion season, Rain, she got 15 calls for modeling jobs, and then the other gal, I can't think of her name right now, she's black and got 0, and so and there very well could be a social injustice thing, and so I think that's kind of her deal and it's not a bad deal. It's noble to look at injustices, but one of those things is she champions more than anything is any kind of perceived disparity between men and women. And her way of dealing with that is by erasing the line altogether. We're just humans. And, that works fine when it comes to, a job, a clerical job or whatever. It doesn't,
not necessarily.
Well,
not with the drag queens in the transgender community trying to push back on stereotypes in the workplace.
Okay, well there you go. That's a different thing. As far as actually performing the job, personally, I don't care what your gender is, or your color or anything. If you can do the job, fine, and you're not disrupting the workplace, that's irrelevant.
I'm sorry, but cross-dressers and transgender people...
That is disruptive.
They disrupt the workplace, right?
Right. So, anyway. I kind of get where she's coming from, but she's gone off the rails.
Well, she's been indoctrinated heavily.
Exactly. I'm guessing, looking at her, she's probably under 25, has grown up in this marketing of... erasing and blurring and swirling genders, and
right.
And so she's a product of that. And you take that marketing and mix that in with her sensitivity to social justice, and out comes this, and it's sad, really. Yeah. I hope that sooner than later she'll look back on life and realize her mistakes, and it's disingenuous to say, oh, this is just two humans playing basketball. Okay, this wasn't teams. It wasn't shirts and skins like I often did as a young man playing basketball, because it's an impromptu game. Some of the people you don't know, who do you know on your team? We did shirts and skins. It was a quick way of dividing, ad hoc uniforms on the basketball court. But here are two women. There's no reason for one to be, to have shirts and skins. And it's not like she was too hot. The other woman, the pro basketball player, kept her clothes on. And it's disingenuous to say, oh, it's just two humans playing basketball, and then there's nothing.
It's part of the language, though, of the homosexual lobby.
Yeah, but it's disingenuous presented as something innocent when it was obviously done to make an impact and get a rise, and then to come back at it and defend it. It was like a self-fulfilling. I'm going to put myself out there to get attacked so that I can come in and defend it.
And then I'm going to put out a press release, which is exactly what I got, right?
Yeah.
Genie is saying, he said in Genesis 1:27, God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. That's right.
Created he them, male and female created he them.
I mean, it's it drives me crazy, because where do you draw the line, right? She's upset because they removed this picture of her naked breasts, okay?
I thought it was still on her Instagram account.
Oh, okay, well, whatever. Anyway, the point is, what if there were children watching this? I mean, I don't know about you, but I care about kids, no? I mean, drives me crazy. Okay. All right, let me get to let's take a break here and do that. And then after that, I'll tell you about this court case where Arizona has ruled against a Christian studio. All right, that's some news here. But Put a 1 in Periscope if you don't mind. Tell me if this bothers you, this story. Or any of these stories. Do they bug you? I mean, am I the only one that gets a little bit irritated by these? Because it's, I mean, does she identify as a Christian? Because that wouldn't shock me either at this point. Oh, I'm a Christian nude person, and I'm a human. I'm not a girl. I'm not a boy. But your breasts actually deny that. It's like, let's deny your body what it is. It's drives me crazy. Anyway, okay. So Ariel Ministries, I thank God for them actually. Ariel is a wonderful ministry, and I don't know if you guys know this, but yesterday we had on an Orthodox Jew from Israel. That's why we were on early, and we got to share with him about Ariel afterwards. I encouraged him to download the free Bible study that we're offering this week from Ariel, and it's on the what is it on?
The present work of the Messiah.
The present work of the Messiah. Yeah, it is. That's what it's on. Anyway, yeah, so you can go on our website, BibleNewsRadio.com, and click the resources button. Also, the book HaMashiach, the Messiah of the Hebrew Scriptures, is also available, and you guys know that you can save 20% on anything when you shop at Ariel.org and use coupon code Bible News, right? So we have some good resources on our website. We have some DVDs of Model Ballaston's teaching, Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum's teaching on the end times, doctrine of the last days. If you really want to get into eschatology and understand that, then check that out as well, because you can do that. Okay, so did you put the Spark Naturals up?
Yeah, on our sponsors.
Okay, on the sponsors page. Okay, on the sponsors page, so that's where you can find the Ariel info, is on the sponsors page. And also ID Shield, Legal Shield, you can find that link on there as well. So you can just go to our website and check that out. And then Spark Naturals, those of you who, I don't know how many of you use essential oils, but I've been using them for years now, for at least 5 years, I think. Because when I moved here to Tennessee, I couldn't breathe. I mean, I had massive, super bad allergies. And one of my neighbors suggested, no, actually it wasn't my neighbor. I got this here. Somebody online sent me something and I read it, and then they sent me a free frankincense and myrrh essential oil to try from Spark Naturals. And then I ended up becoming an affiliate with Spark Naturals. So if you're an essential oil user, some of the top doTERRA reps in the world left doTERRA, which is extremely expensive and overpriced in my opinion. I know, because I tried to sell it for a while and they were like super expensive. They left doTERRA to come to Spark Naturals. Okay, I'm an affiliate with Spark Naturals and I love their stuff. The one thing that I buy all the time, because I'm allergic to Tennessee, is LLP, which is their lemon lavender peppermint blend. So that's why we have that linked on our website. But you can click through, you can buy anything. And just by clicking through that link on my site, you guys, if you buy anything, we'll get credit for that, okay? Because that's an affiliate link. They nixed their coupon code. We used to have the coupon code, but instead of giving 10%, now they give 15%. So they just nixed the coupon code, give you a bigger discount. So go check it out if you're an essential oil user. All right. And of course, the last thing is those of you who are pillars of my community, of our community, thank you for being pillars. If you want to become a pillar, because you like what we do, you want to support us, then just set up a recurring monthly donation right there on our website too. And just pick which donation amount you want to give, and we'll put you in. And make sure here you go ahead and you put that you want to be a pillar, and then we'll put you in our Facebook group. But you got to let me know though, because the Facebook group's only for monthly donors. Young Living is also a competitor of Spark Naturals. I've actually never used any Young Living stuff, to be honest, but what I do know is I have customers who use Young Living, and they get some of their basics from Spark Naturals because it's cheaper. So there you go. There is an EO war. I know it. I know there is. Okay. All right. So Arizona, CBN News has reported yesterday, they reported on this story. Arizona court rules against Christian Studio, proving the Colorado baker victory didn't solve anything. Okay. Many religious liberty advocates were thrilled with last week's Supreme Court ruling, which seemingly vindicated a Colorado baker who declined to bake a wedding cake for a gay couple, citing his Christian beliefs. A recent decision by Arizona Appellate Court, however, indicates any celebration is premature, which I already knew that, but anyway. Last Thursday, the Arizona Court of Appeals ruled against Joanna Duca and Brianna Koski, owners of Brush and Nib Studio, a small wedding invitation business founded on Christian principles. The June 8th decision upholds a Phoenix law that makes it illegal for business owners to deny service to same-sex couples on the basis of religion. We have previously found that eliminating discrimination constitutes a compelling interest, Judge Lawrence Winthrop wrote, noting that anti-discrimination ordinances are not aimed at the suppression of speech, but at the elimination of discriminatory conduct. But Duca and Koski insist they'll serve anyone regardless of sexual preference. Don't you love the terminology? It is sexual preference, people, just so you know. Rather, they take exception to producing custom messages that violate their Christian beliefs. Big, huge difference.
Huge.
It's not about who walks in the door. It's about what message they're asked to create, their attorney Jonathan Scruggs with the Alliance Defense Fund explained. The Brush and Nib Studio v. City of Phoenix decision came only days after the Supreme Court sided with Jack Phillips, accusing the Colorado Civil Rights Commission of showing anti-religious bias when it ruled against the Christian baker. Some, like conservative commentator Ben Shapiro, suggested that Brush and Nib ruling was foreseeable, noting the Colorado baker case ignored some key issues, which it did, by the way. It refused to countenance whether First Amendment speech rights could be violated in favor of non-discrimination laws, whether, for example, a gay songwriter could be forced to perform work for an evangelical Christian choir looking for a tune to liven up Leviticus 18, Shapiro wrote. That's funny. That's actually funny if you know what Leviticus 18 talks about. Anyway, in June 9... In a June 9 commentary, it refused to consider whether First Amendment free association rights could be completely overthrown by reference to non-discrimination laws, whether any business could be told to serve anyone for any reason at any time, he continued. Finally, he noted the High Court refused to consider whether First Amendment freedom of religion could be overturned in favor of non-discrimination law, whether religious practice stops at the front door of the home and the church. I heard many years ago, this is just my commentator here, me commentating, I heard Janet Parshall say one time on her show with her husband Craig Parshall, who is an attorney, that ultimately a lot of these non-discrimination laws, I mean, it's ultimately LGBT rights against Christian rights, okay? I mean, that's the big war, ultimately. Yeah, there's Muslims and there's other stuff in there, but by and large, it's a war of worldviews, right? It's God's way versus the LGBT way. And ultimately, the homosexual lobby wants to make sure that you shut up, and the only place you can have your free speech is in your house. Right? I mean, they're going after the churches, okay? And in some cities in America, they've actually gone after house churches as well. So it's not even just the regular church, but it's also house churches. But I heard the Parshals say one time quite a number of years ago, ultimately, they basically, you know, that old adage that a lot of you grew up with in the Catholic Church, oh, we don't talk about politics and religion. Nope. I go to the house of the Lord to pray. That's what I do. Really? All right. Continuing with the article. Instead, Shapiro argued the justices ruled in favor of Phillips because the Colorado Commission had been unduly mean to the baker regarding his Christian faith. I must have missed the Be Kind, Rewind section of the First Amendment, Shapiro wrote. Meanwhile, the ADF suggests that Brush and Nib ruling disregards the Constitution's guarantee of freedom of religion. It does. Artists shouldn't be forced under threat of fines and jail time to create artwork contrary to their core convictions, they wrote in a statement. The court's decision allows the government to compel two artists who happily serve everyone to convey a message about marriage they disagree with. This contradicts basic freedoms our nation has always cherished. In Monday's Masterpiece Cake Shop decision, I always think Masterpiece Theater for some reason, but anyway, the Supreme Court reaffirmed that religious and philosophical objections to gay marriage are protected views and in some instances protected forms of expression. Phoenix's position contradicts this principle and violates our clients' artistic and religious freedom. The ADF is vowing to appeal the ruling, and I know they will, and hopefully they'll win. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just have to say that, you know, here's the deal. If you begin to stand up for God's biblical principles, especially in the world today, and you begin to speak out against anything the LGBTQ lobby decides that they're going to throw at you, it can be in your employment, it can be in your academia, in your colleges, wherever you go. It doesn't even have to be college. It could just be education in general. It can be in your church. Okay? It can be, you know, just, you know, at a voting thing. Okay? If you begin to do that, you will be persecuted. You know, if you're new to the show, I actually wrote the Voice of the Martyrs persecution blog 8 years. I know a lot about Christian persecution. We are under soft persecution in America. And, you know, we talk about Islam a lot. We may be bringing that up in a couple days. But right now, the LGBT lobby is like the number one thing that we all know about. And let me just say this, and I say this with love, because pretty much everything I do is with love, is if you really think it's all about equal rights, and it was all about getting equal rights in marriage, then explain to me why, when the Supreme Court of the United States of America overruled the will of the people on the definition of marriage, we even still have this issue going on. Okay? Because if it was about that, the gay lobby would have said, oh my gosh, we won, yay, hallelujah. Well, they might not have said that, but they might have said, yay, we won. Right? But it's not about that. It's ultimately about, hey, Beth, it's ultimately about silencing the gospel and spitting in God's face and saying, you know what? I don't like you, God, because you know, on the one hand, they don't like God. They hate God, right? Because they're going against nature the way that he created it. And I know some of you are like, you are so wrong, Harp. Yeah, you are. That sweet and lovable label is BS. Maybe. And you have a right to that opinion. You know, well, all homosexuals are not that way, and the, you know, all gays are loving, blah, 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 blah. Look, you know what? I'm not talking about the individual person. I'm talking about the movement, the political movement, okay? I'm talking about the movement that wants you to be to shut up and not read Romans 1 or Leviticus 18 or any other parts of the Bible that, you know, that people are offended by, right? I'm talking about the parts of the Bible where they deny what Jesus talked about. All right, people always say, well, Jesus never talked about, you know, homosexuality. Really? Because he defined marriage as one man and one woman. So explain that to me and show me the marriage book for homosexuals in the Bible. I can show you the marriage book for heterosexuals in the Bible. It's called the Song of Solomon, aka the Song of Songs. Show me the marriage model for, like, in the church, you know, for homosexual and lesbian couples. I don't see it, but I see instructions for husbands and wives and parenting. Show me the homosexual parenting book in the Bible. There is none, people. It's not there. It's not, you know. And Laura Royer, I have to tell you, Laura's, you know, she's on Periscope. She gave an awesome message yesterday. I just have to share this because it blessed me so much. She was talking about how, you know, we have been so indoctrinated in our culture, you know, in so many things. It's like it's like you don't even know what truth is if you're listening to the culture all the time. If you're turning the TV on and watching all the garbage on TV, it's spitting out their immorality, and you're so numb to it. You don't even care. You watch it all the time anyway. Whatever, who cares? You know? I mean, seriously, right? I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy, you know? Anyway, and it's like, what will it take? I know what it'll take. I'll just tell you what it's going to take. What it will take in America, honestly, and this, of course, is my educated opinion. That's all it is. You can ignore it if you want, but my educated opinion on what it will take for the church in America to wake up is big-time, massive persecution. You know, Kim Davis, the county clerk in Kentucky, who refused to sign marriage licenses as her job, she was thrown in jail, people, for that. In America. Right? Okay, and then if we want to talk about Islam, which maybe we'll do later this week, Islam is coming to kill us all, just so you know. And it's not a religion of peace, and I don't care what people say, it's not. Now, are all the practitioners, are they faithful to their Islamic teachings? Probably most of them don't know them. They probably don't even know the book. Most of them probably don't read it, just like Christians don't read it. But those who do, those are the ones you got to watch out for. Right there, right? You know, the Bible teaches, love your enemies, bless those who persecute you, who spitefully use you. Islam says, kill your enemies. Yeah, that's compatible, just so you know. Not. I mean, come on. You know, so I want to encourage you. Look, if you're someone who is passionate about Christ, and honestly, if you're watching this, you probably are, because most people, you know, I mean, if you have time to watch our show, then you must love the Lord a little bit, because, you know, that we're trying to advocate his ways, which is archaic in our society, by the way, I should tell you. All right, let's look at some comments. How much time we got?
Not much. About 3.5 minutes.
All right, let me scroll back through some of the comments here if I can see some blah blah. Okay, so Jeannie said it can be anywhere. You're right, it can be anywhere. Beth said hi. Nate said very soft persecution. I will say it is soft persecution in the sense that we're not getting beheaded yet. I will say for those people like the Aaron and Melissa Klein who basically lost their whole life savings and all that, the financial, that's not fun at all. Okay, let's see here. I'm still scrolling here. Many churches already affirm LGBTQ. That, yeah. Well, Natasha, that's part of the problem. You know, tomorrow I'm going to talk about what's going on in the Southern Baptist Convention. I don't have time today to talk about it, but they're having their Southern Baptist Convention. This issue is forefront in that issue. They actually just elected a brand new president, which is one reason why I won't become Baptist. I will tell you why tomorrow, just so you know. Okay. And let's see. Did the Bible say you have to get a license from the government to be married? No. Do you eat pork and shellfish? Actually, no, I really don't. I'm part Jewish. And ever since I became Jewish, that's kind of like, I don't really, really care for bacon much anymore. I don't like fish at all, just so you know. God's inspired word says homosexuality is an abomination. How much plainer can he make it? I know, right? I mean, that's what it says. And of course, yeah, he is referring to the Mosaic law, the Levitical law. Blah, blah. Okay, that's a lame argument. Okay, yeah, blah, blah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right. And mockers and scoffers will come, the end times says, and we have Clout Jesus there. Welcome to the end times, mocker and scoffer. You know what? You're welcome to come in anytime, though. We don't mind mockers and scoffer, because you just confirm my Bible, which says end times Bible prophecies being fulfilled in front of my face. Just so you know. All right. Okay, so you have any final thoughts? You across the table from me, Mr. Handsome, hunky man that you are? Yeah, you are. You're a man. I know you.
No, there's just too much to say and too little time to say it, so
all right.
I'll have to wait.
Okay. All right. So, hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, if you want to support our show, go over to BibleNewsRadio.com, go to our sponsors page or our resources page. You can click any of those options. Also, the other thing I would love for you to do, if you're being touched by the show and just minister to, or if you learned something on the show, do me a favor and tell me. Leave a comment or message me privately. You can tweet me at Bible News Radio. You can email me through my page. If you're on Facebook, you can message me there. I would really, really like to know. Your feedback is important to me because I want to talk about things that matter to you. And so if this is helping you, let me know. If you want me to cover a different topic, let me know, okay? I mean, this is our show. I might be behind the microphone, but you're there listening, taking your time up to listen. I don't want your time to be wasted. So do that for us, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Be bold, people. Randall's like, are you not going to say your tagline? Be bold, people. Stand up and go with God because he loves you. Yeah, he does.